I just got out of prison and now I own an AI and automation agency, making about $13,000 a month. And I'm here to document my journey from zero to hero. So I would love to really like do a daily update of my growth, but like the YN say, I ain't got a lot of motion right now. You feel me? So I'm gonna keep the updates to a weekly, and then once I start getting a little more smoke, like my one of my mentors in the game, Nick, Sarah, Ev, once I get a little more smoke, I could possibly go, day to day. But at this time, we're gonna have to, at least get you something to be woo woo about, every week. So this week so far, we got 13 subscribers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? If anybody know how to take this focus thing like off and like the whole display, if someone could teach me how to do that, that would be absolutely phenomenal. But moving forward here, I actually just went ahead and resubscribed to vidIQ. vidIQ is absolutely, if you don't know what it is, absolutely phenomenal software for those that take like YouTube kind of serious and kind of really want to try to grow YouTube, possibly monetize, and kind of, obviously afford that freedom life in which we all are, somewhat seeking. I know a lot of times people may be like, oh, you in love with money or you love money. I mean, in a sense, yes, but I love it to an understanding. Okay, so I love it on a level that's a little bit more in depth. So yeah, I do love money, but I love it because of what it could do for my freedom of life and my freedom of choice. Because at our in our most like real deal like natural state, we're all spirits. So like spirits aren't like good at being held in, you feel me, so much. It's the reason why traveling is such a sought after thing by so many, damn near everybody, because spirits just want to roam. And money allows you the ability to roam. Oh damn, my screen's cut off, so I don't know what happened. Can y'all still see me? I think so. So money allows you to travel. Wait, sorry, I lost my words because of the screens. So money allows you to travel freely, okay, and comfortably. And that's exactly kind of like, what we want to do. We just want to have the freedom to be able to, make our own choices, make our own decisions and stuff like that. So yes, I do love money. But vidIQ is a great software. Sorry to go off on that tangent. vidIQ is great, man. It gives you like, it helps you generate ideas. It does a lot of, obviously, like a lot of data analytics on the YouTube platform. So it has, according to your niche, like the best titles to do at the certain time. Like this is what like some of the most prominent YouTubers are definitely using vidIQ. Like period. So I've been doing vidIQ. I've been doing a lot of Opus Clip. I've been using Opus Clip for a while now, but I've been really ramping up my Opus Clip, really doing like a lot of social media management, and it's showing. So the stuff is true, man. All you have to do is like record the videos, do the work. A lot of people don't think this shit is work, bro. This shit is fucking work, bro. Creating content is fucking work. If ever you've done content like at a professional level and it's like it's admirable, at least like the least amount, it's some work, bro. You feel me? So definitely shout out to all the content creators out there. You guys are fucking awesome. So I seen that I had an outlier here: APIs, webhooks, and prompts for one of my shorts, and or this might be a video. Who knows? It's a short though. I don't have 1,000 yet on a video except for my AI cold caller. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let's talk about APIs in this video because that's very important. I definitely preach the fact that hey, learn APIs, learn webhooks, and learn prompt engineering, and you're damn near like 85% to all of the skills, more like 95% of all of the skills you'll really need in building of the automations. You want to have some form of background of computer like language, um like like coding. You want to have some like formality with it because it just helps. Like one time, okay, so I'm trying to get some, I had trouble with this. I'm trying to retrieve data from a Google ad, right? So the way that I think about webhooks and APIs, when I think about webhooks, I think about hooking some information. Okay, so wherever the webhook is, that is where the information is getting sent to, or that is where like is hooking some information from somewhere. It's grabbing some information from somewhere. That's how I make it make sense in my mind. I don't know if that helps you guys or not, but webhooks, like in this instance right here, this webhook is getting information. Like this webhook has a URL because you're going to use this URL to send information to. Okay, so that's why webhooks to me, like, okay, I'm hooking in the information. I'm getting the information. But I was trying to get some information or some data from a Google ad form, and I was really having some trouble. Like, bro, how do I get this like data by itself? Let me tell you what I mean when I say that. Let's go to a previous run. So in the webhook, this is the payload. That's what they like to call this stuff, payload. I'm calling it stuff. You can call it data. I'm trying to keep it as, let's say, accessible as possible when it comes to like computer programming, this no code automation stuff, because it really has changed my life. So I may not speak professionally for every explanation, but that maybe because it's not for you, to be honest with you. But if you still understand, you still understand, like, period. So what's going on here is, as you can see, this says array. So when we have an array, I knew about arrays through, I had did a Udemy course. It was like Python, 100 Days of Python. Angelou, if amazing course, you guys, if you want to go get it, go get it. Udemy, 100 days straight of like Python, and that's where I learned a lot about arrays and the fact that arrays are used to kind of like hold a lot of shit, for real, for real. So arrays can obviously hold data, okay? And I believed, because I've been doing automations for a while now, that okay, if there's information in here and I can clearly see it, then it will be individually, like the individual key and value pairs. When I say key value, this is the key. Okay, this is what is describing what the value is. Okay, so you can think of this like the oven and this like the bread. Okay, so whenever you might be like in a big huge kitchen and you might want to know, okay, what's in this oven or what's in this key, it would be this type of bread, user phone. Okay, what's in this key, what's in this string value key, this number type of bread. I'm trying to make it like understandable, but I thought I would have complete access to that data in the next module. Okay, but let me go ahead and run it for you so you can see what I mean here. So let's run this module. Let's send some test data through. So here's the test data. So I had to kind of block out my client's Google ad account. So what happened was I just fired off some test data from the webhook within the Google ads. So I was thinking, okay, I got this information, right? So what I wanted to do was I want to be able to get the string value of each column to be able to push this to go high level. Okay, that's my thinking. But when I come here to get the data, let's just pretend like we're making one up. To get the data, and I go down here to user column, it's like, bro, it's not there. It's only three. It's a string value, a column ID, and a column name. It's only three of them. But when I come here, it's four collections of column name, string value, column ID. So I was really stuck on how in the hell do I get the individual, like if I wanted the first name, like how do I get that from just this right here? So then I realized, no, matter of fact, I hit a mentor. And this is what is so beautiful about communities is that it allows you to meet a lot of people. Communities are very, very important because in this space, that's kind of like all we got because someone somewhere has run into the same problem that you're trying to troubleshoot. So the more people that you know, the more communities that you're a part of, the more access you have to troubleshooting your fucking problems. And that is damn near 80% of automations. It's just test, 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 troubleshoot, troubleshoot, troubleshoot. Okay, how many fucking buttons and clicks can I do per hour trying to figure this shit out? Okay, so my mentor was like, yo, that's an array. I said, yeah, I see it's an array. I would think it was an array because, oh, yeah, at first, this is what I tried to do. I tried to do an iterator. So I tried to do an iterator because I'm thinking, okay, this is an array. If you want to break an array down, which is the shell, if you want to break the array down and get individuals, you should be able to do it with the iterator, correct? Wrong, nigga. That shit did not fucking work, bro. So I was like, bro, literally for hours trying to figure this shit out, bro. And I hit my mentor up. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? They was like, yo, that's an array, bro. So I was like, okay. And then she was like, hey, the way that you get that data from there is you click whatever value you want. So I wanted the string value of each and every one of these collections. I wanted the string value of the first collection, which is a full name, of the second collection. I wanted the string value of that. I wanted the string value of the third collection, and I wanted the string value and the column ID of the fourth because I wanted. Oh no, I just wanted the. Just wanted the string value of the fourth one. So what we have to do, and now that I know, is click the string value. You see how you have the availability to put a number or a character in between? That is the number that you use for the collection number. Okay, so we have the collection number right here, and then you got to put the number right there, bro. So if I want the first name or the full name, then I would put the string value of 1. Now, I was like, damn. And this is another thing, like, okay, so boom, we got off the phone and everything. I was like, damn, that's great. But then I was like, damn, I want to get the whole first name. But luckily, I had already knew the split in the get function. So what I did is now I got the whole one of the string value. Well, sorry, I got string value of the first collection, which is the first and last name. And then what I did was I split it by the space delimiter, is what they like to call it. And then I get the first part of it for the first name. Okay, so delimiter. It's a character or sequence of characters used to separate or mark the boundaries between different elements within a string, data stream, or other data format. So that's what allowed me now to get the first part, and then I put that same formula in for the last name, which is supposed to be 2. Whoa, thank God. And then it automatically gets updated in Go High Level. After that, I tag it with the Google Ad tag, which automatically fires off an automation in Go High Level. So I wasn't really supposed to go all the way there with it, but that is just like what I learned this week. Like literally, that's what I learned this week. That's the biggest thing I learned this week. All right, so let's go to APIs because APIs are very, very important. Okay, so I've been having to do a huge automation with Zenoti's API documentation, and their documentation is actually really good. So the thing about documentations, bro, you're gonna fall into like some like really poorly written API documentations, bro, and it's gonna take you a shit ton of it's gonna take you a long time to find out how to fuck to navigate it to like do what exactly or customize the automation how you want to. That's just growing pains of the beginning. You just got to go through it. Like I don't really have a remedy for it. I don't know, like smoke some weed and just chill out and just figure the shit out. But that's like you got to just get through that. So I had to use the APIs to pretty much create a guest if a guest doesn't exist within the data frame. If they do, then we wanted to create a booking and book them directly into the Zenodes platform. The thing about this is it is a lot of fucking steps to do that in the Zenodes back end. Okay, first and foremost, we got to get the center in which so Zenoti is like it's like for like med spas and shit like that. I'm doing it for a med spa, and it's like you have to literally find first and foremost the center in where you are. Okay, so once you get the center ID, and the way you get the center ID is hold on. So this is what I want to do. Okay, I had to go ahead and like cut out the piece like right before this because I didn't feel like I explained it well enough. Okay, so I'm gonna try again. This is strictly off the dome, but I want to be able to relate APIs and the understanding of APIs to a broad market. So all APIs are is one software talking to another. That's it. In the most basic understanding of it, you taking one platform and you're telling it to talk to another platform. Okay, a lot of times when we think about APIs, we think about webhooks and like that, we kind of psych ourselves out into thinking it's much more like difficult to understand or comprehend than anything else. But anything that you just now starting out is obviously going to be hard to comprehend. Doesn't matter if you're fucking selling dope or you're fucking doing computer programming. Like it's going to be hard. Everything is a lot of learning in the beginning. Like you just have to try to stick with it. So APIs, like I said, is one platform talking to another. So this client wanted a pretty much a full booking agent, AI agent built on the back of Zenoti, Go High Level, and obviously Make. And it takes a lot of steps to create a service booking, invoices, and everything like that on the back end by doing just straight API calls. Okay, so in order to actually go through the whole process of booking on Zenoti, first and foremost, you have to get the center ID. And if you just sit for a second and just chill, literally, like take a deep breath. Because when you try to come to something and then try to take it all in at once, you're going to feel overwhelmed. So once you come to like API documentation pages, like just take a breath. Like literally, like just like breathe, bro. Breathe for a second and then just try to take it like one bite at a time, okay? Because that's literally how you're going to have to build the automation. Or if you scoped it out before you did that, which I always recommend, if you scoped it out before that, then you're going to have to take that scope like or that wireframe one step at a time. So when you get to the platform, just take a deep breath. Okay, what am I trying to do? Go back and forth from here to your scope and be able to really like piece it together. Okay, so to get the center IDs, where would you think like that possibly would be, like that API? Centers, guests, employees, rooms. We're probably going to go with centers. Okay, so we click centers. And hey, lo and behold, right there, list all centers. So to really understand APIs, the only thing you need to know is that, okay, boom, if this platform is trying to talk to this platform, we need to make sure that we ain't got no bullshit going on in between, that a bitch trying to steal some like data or something like that, or reroute some data and stuff like that. So we're gonna need some type of authorization. Like, bro, you need to make sure you're doing a special knock to be able to talk to me. Okay, so in order for someone else to try to get some information from an API, you need to make sure that you got the right credentials, okay? And that's all authorization or authentication really is. It's just authorization that you got that badge, not the police, but you got that pass. That's all I'm gonna say. You got that pass to be able to really like do what you want to do with this data. Okay. So let's get into make here. All we do is we create a new scenario, we click this and we click HTTP and we say make a request. Okay. So the URL, this URL will literally always be right here where it says dun 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 URL. How did I know it was there? I just like read the page. Number one. Number two, I watched a lot of fucking videos. Number three, I just go over I think it was here. You always want to go through authentication and authorization first and foremost when you come on an API documentation page, just to figure out, okay, how can I access this motherfucker? Okay, so it's saying generate an API key is a note from the organization level. Go to admin. That's another thing I just want to chime in with is a lot of the API understanding just comes from fucking reading. Like you just gotta read this shit, bro. It's pretty like it. Most of it really is like straightforward. Now there are some very poorly written API documentations, and I think like the people behind that are really just some assholes. And you're just like, fuck it, like I'm not finna let anyone be able to just access my baby, easily. Pause. So the authorization header, that's what these are. And that is kind of like the actual keys to get you in. The URL is just where that request is going. That's just the address. That's why we like to call that web address. The URL is just where the shit is going. Okay. All this is a web address. Okay. Just think about I'm about to send some shit somewhere. I need a bitch address. Okay. So if I'm finna send a request to get something, that I need to know exactly where that motherfucker at. So I'm gonna need their address. All right. As my YNs like to say, I need that addy. You hear me? So the addy actually is the URL, which is is the URL that is in the actual calls. So whenever we do a call to a get or a post to an API, we gonna know that the URL will always more than likely be right here or right here. I like to take this one, to be honest with you, because it just has more queries. Now, when I say queries, that sound like something else or a word that I do know. That's another thing you need to make sure that you do. And this shit all comes with time. Like, don't think you're about to do this shit in one day off of one fucking video or like a week or two of fucking watching videos, bro. You'll be a lot, farther ahead, but don't think you're just gonna understand this shit in one time. So queries sounds like questions. So that's how I think to myself, okay, what's a query? Whenever I see a question mark, just know that a query is coming right after that. And queries don't always have to be a part of the URL at all. It's just giving more direction of the addy. Okay, so if I say, hey, this address and plus take a right down the first hall and then hit a first left, and that's where you'll pack at, then that's what like queries kind of does. It kind of just really like pinpoints or filters the request. So that's how you're gonna just take this request. We'll take this one. You're just gonna take this request, copy it, literally paste it right there. What else does it say to do? You're then going to get your headers. As you can see, there are how many headers here? 1, 2. Hey, you're fucking catching on, bro. I'm not. You're getting this shit. Watch. Hey, add a header. So as you can see, this part here is actually the first part, or the is that called a name? I don't know. Yep, that's the name of the header. So you don't actually put the semicolon. It's just that semicolon is there just to separate those two. So you just take the authorization. You take the name, you put that in the name. You take the API key, and then as you can see, for the value, it says API key, your API key. So you would obviously take this out and put your API key right there. But wait, we got how many headers? 2. So now we got to put the accept in the application JSON in. Header. Accept application JSON. So in GET requests, we don't normally have to have a body type, but sometimes we do have to have a body type for the GET request because we may be specifically requesting something within that API that may have different parameters. Okay. Or AKA query params. So when you have query params, you can put them bitches right in the URL. Okay. A lot of times, a lot of people just put their queries right in a URL instead of having to create a JSON object to send with. And that's what these objects are. JSON objects. Oh, that's another thing. Hey, you want to know APIs. If there are any type of skills you want to know, it's APIs, webhooks, prompt engineering, and JSON. Okay, you need to know JSON and understand how it's structured. So after you had to get the list all centers, then you would get the center ID. After you get the center ID, then is when we can begin to create a guest if they don't already if they're not already a part of the system. So as you see with the center API called the list all centers, this was a GET request. You see how you have GET right here, and there's different methods. The biggest methods you're gonna use, bro, is GET, post, put a lot of times, and delete. That's it. Get, post, put, delete. Nothing else. Put is like when you like modify a it's like when you modify a record, okay, or you modifying some data. Get, obviously that's self-explanatory. You're finna get something. Post, you about to post this. I think it's like a postage stamp, okay, or post it, where you about to post something onto something, so you're like sending something. And then delete, I mean, that's, do you need me to explain what delete means? Okay, good. I'm just, you let me know. All right, whoever watching this shit, let me know if I need to get like super like that, because I'll do it. I got you. So we gonna save that, and let's make another one right quick. Let's make one for HTTP. We're going to click HTTP. We're going to come down to make a request here. Now, this time we know that it's a post request. I always kind of like to do my methods first, just to kind of like set the foundation. Okay, this is a post request. And here is once again our URL. Oh, shit. See? No, it's not. So one of the biggest things too, y'all, is get in the trenches and just do this with me. Like literally sign on. You don't even have to sign on. You just have to type in Zenoti API documentation. Zenoti API documentation. That's how you find everybody's documentation. Like you just type their name and then API documentation. If they got documentation, that shit gonna come up. Excuse me for not getting a haircut. I'm on my grind right now. So this is a post. This is the URL, or this is the ADDI. Okay, that we're looking for. Once again, we got our how many headers here now? We got 3 headers. So we want to take the name of one of the headers, add it in here. We want to get the API key and make sure it's our API key. Don't include the um what do you call those single quotes? API key. Obviously, put your API key right there. Sometimes don't register when you copy and paste. Let's continue adding our headers here. Accept. Application JSON. Copy that. Application JSON. Post that in there. And then our last one is content type. Content type. Application JSON. So we're going to post that in there. Make sure we got all of our headers. And being that this is a post request, this is probably going to give us some things to post. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is a post because we're actually creating a guest. So we can create a guest with make sure now. So a personal info, because I did it with the personal info. I didn't use a user go code of guest. I used the address info. So when I created a JSON, I just did username, first name, last name, email, mobile phone, date of birth. I had to do date of birth because the documentation states that if you want to try to create an invoice, then you're going to have certain parameters that are within their actual like admin dashboard. You got to find that shit, bro. It's APIs do get a little like just in depth, but it's really like an onion if you think about it. Like you just got to keep pulling back the layers to find it. You just have to have the patience to be able to do that. That's the only thing. Address line, yep. And then that's how you just update or you create a guest. Oh shit. Excuse me, y'all. I've been sitting in this chair all day. Had some swimming lessons with my daughter earlier. She doing good too. They dunked her all the way in the water today. Why? She came up. So, I mean, that's hold on. What else I wanted to talk about today? I think that's it. I want to just show y'all exactly how I learned. Like the one thing I did learn this week, because I definitely pride myself in being a forever student. Okay, and you got to always try to learn as much as possible because of how vastly, not vastly, but how quickly AI is moving forward. So y'all just I appreciate everyone that be coming and watching my shit, bro. Like I really appreciate that. If I can do it, you can do it. If you need any help, man, I'm at the stage right now where you can hit me up and I'm going to get on a Zoom call with you and help you out. Like, if you're a small business owner, medium-sized business owner, and you're looking to put or implement, streamline some of your processes, get some of these tools that I have for you to really like 5x, 10x, maybe 100x some of your processes. Hopefully, just let me know. You can just email. I'm gonna leave my email. I'm gonna leave my phone number down here. That's literally my phone number. Like I'm gonna answer it. Like it's literally I'm gonna answer that phone. So y'all just hit me up, man. I'll see y'all in the next one.